All right, we have some NBA 2K22 news to share with you. NBA 2K dropped a bit of a couple little previews. We have an NBA 2K22 features preview, as well as a few screenshots of what NBA 2K22 will look like. That's what we're looking at right here. This is Luka Doncic. You have to assume that this is a next-gen image. I mean, it looks nice. Of course, you have the patented NBA 2K sweat that they always are famous for in these previews. But, you know, to me, it looks good, but it doesn't look too different from what we're used to. We also have a Dirk Nowitzki image, which also looks solid. It's a little bit different of a Dirk face than we've seen before. And I know that they did a face scan, an updated face scan with Dirk, so that's nice to have. And then the last one that they shared with us was the Candace Parker image. And yeah, I mean, everything looks clean. It's not mind-blowing. It's not a huge departure from what we saw this last year, but it looks nice, and it's nice to at least get a glimpse of what they're working on for NBA 2K22. Now to the meat of what they shared today, and this is the NBA 2K22 features preview. I'm going to go through this whole thing for you, share my thoughts as we go along. And again, we are less than 2 months away from NBA 2K22, about 50 days, dropping on September 10th. But let's go over what they talked about. On the court gameplay, key on-court gameplay improvements are being implemented to give the player not only more control over how they score the ball, but also how they counter those moves on the defensive end. Says that's only the beginning. They're going to share more as we get closer in August. On offense, breaking down the defenders off the dribble with new signature moves and combos, precision jump shooting, dunking in traffic, and pulling off alley-oops have all become more skill-based. Basketball IQ and stick skills play an even bigger role in separating top offensive players. And I think this is really great to hear. You hear every year players complaining that there isn't a skill gap or we need a bigger skill gap. And I certainly think that this past year, at least in next gen, that there wasn't much of a skill gap in the game. So we do hear this repeated constantly, so it's tough to know whether this is just lip service or if there actually is going to be a bigger skill gap this year. But if there is, I think that's definitely a good thing. And anytime you can incorporate the value of basketball IQ, I think is going to really benefit this game. However, it's going to make this game a little bit less accessible for the casual player, so keep that in mind. Defense, a completely revamped shot contest and blocking system. Thank God. I mean, shot contest has been broken essentially for the last couple of years, so I think this is really nice that they're focusing on it. Hopefully it's good. So this highlights an arsenal of new defensive tools at your disposal. Playing suffocating defense on the perimeter and in the paint has never felt more rewarding, giving elite defenders the ability to truly change the outcome of the game. And I felt this past year was so focused on offense, and that defenders essentially didn't have a huge impact, whereas the year before, NBA 2K20, you know, you could have lockdown defenders that could absolutely change the flow of the game, and I didn't feel like that was such a factor in next gen in 21. So I would love to see a return to making defenders more relevant, incentivize players to create builds with more defense, and get more balance and more diversity with the player builds that we're seeing in the park. So I think this is also good news. Seasons. Across fan favorite experiences, seasons allow players to extend and enhance their hoop ambitions long after the game's launch. Free for all 2K22 gamers in MyTeam, MyCareer, and the W, which is some mode for next gen. It brings more content, more rewards, and more ways to play. And this year, Seasons will introduce an all-new way to level up your MyPlayer and earn exciting MyPlayer prizes in the city and in the neighborhood. More details coming. So to me, what this sounds like is kind of like a battle pass. So a free battle pass that's built in the game, gives you things to do. But what's great about it is when you complete these objectives that you're actually leveling up your player as you go along. And I think this could be amazing, just given that in the past we've really had to rely on the MyCareer playing against the AI grind to level up our players. So if we can actually level up our players by completing objectives within the city, I think that's a huge win. So let's hope that this comes together well, but I like this idea of having seasonal content, giving you things to do in the game to unlock content and upgrade your player at the same time. I have high hopes that this is going to change the way that we approach our MyCareer grind. So fingers crossed. All right, MyTeam for NBA 2K22 evolves as the ultimate experience for building and competing with your own dream team on day one. But that's not all. MyTeam will continue to expand as each new season drops. I mean, that's what they're doing right now. The MyTeam Draft, making its long requested return in NBA 2K22, MyTeam Draft has you selecting a complete lineup from a constantly updated pool of players. Compete with your new lineup in online multiplayer games to earn rewards for your MyTeam collection. This is awesome because it allows you to enjoy MyTeam even if you aren't a grinder, and if you're not dumping tons of money into the game. You could jump in, play the My Draft experience while you're unlocking cards, while you're building up your roster. So I think this is great. I've enjoyed MyTeam Draft in the past. I think it's awesome that they're making a return. So thumbs up for MyTeam Draft. Experience the evolution of MyTeam throughout the year in NBA 2K22. New challenges, rewards, and events make every season fresh and unique in MyTeam. On top of the many features debuting in MyTeam on day one, even more additions are coming throughout the year, including an original new game mode this holiday season. I have no idea what this means, but it's something to look forward to. Cross-gen progress and collection. While NBA 2K22 will offer 2 unique basketball experiences across the 2 console generations, MyTeam Progress and Collections will be transferable between consoles that are within the same platform family, such as PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5. VC Wallet, MyTeam Points, MyTeam Token balances will be transferable within the same console families as well. So this is exactly the same as they did it in NBA 2K21. If you have both generations of console, you can go back and forth between them, and your MyTeam experience and VC and your MyTeam collection will occur on both consoles. New city and new neighborhood, and basically this is saying that there's going to be a completely different experience whether you are on next gen or current gen, kind of like it was in NBA 2K21. The biggest online basketball community gets 2 very different makeovers in NBA 2K22. PS5 and Xbox Series X players will step up and hoop in an all-new version of the city. So to me that sounds like it's the same city, but it's just better. There's more things in it, right? PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC 2K22 players will compete while setting sail for the high seas, which sounds super interesting. Take your best MyPlayer builds and express yourself through both your game and your style in each unique online experience. All right, so for next gen, a living, breathing city. Step into an all-new city teeming with life, activity, and interactivity. NPCs, non-playable characters, populate the fresh city layout. So fresh city layout, maybe they did shift things around a little bit. While my players from all over the world compete in the highest level of playground basketball. An all-new quest system for NBA 2K22 engages my players with creative content while offering new ways to level up and earn rewards in this re-envisioning of the PS5 and Xbox Series XS basketball communities. So I think that's mentioning the seasons that they were discussing before, as far as the things that you could unlock, but also the quest system. You may remember in NBA 2K21, you would have NPCs walking around with the yellow or orange exclamation marks above their head. You could talk to them. Sometimes they would tell you to go to a warehouse to take on some legends. Maybe they would be selling something. So let's expect more of that kind of content all throughout the city. I will say the city felt pretty dead. It did not feel like a living environment whatsoever. There's a lot of room for improvement here, and hopefully they can pull it off this year in 22. Matchmaking options in this city. Yes, the city opens up new and quicker alternatives to get into online hoops. Thank you. My players can enter select matchmaking buildings to be placed into immediate competition. Matchmaking sessions will be available for a number of game types and will contribute to all my player progress. Huge win. If I can just never wait for a game again, if I don't have to pull up and hop on a spot ever again, I would be a happy man. I'm not sure if they'll totally get rid of the idea of hopping on a spot and waiting for a part game. Maybe that's still its own mode and the matchmaking is a separate mode, but as a content creator, it just kills me waiting for 10-15 minutes for a game to start while I'm just standing there and have to, manage the dead air that I'm recording. So if there's a way, just hop into a game, get going, that's great. Also, this is going to help us level up that much faster. We're not spending half of our time waiting for a game. We're just getting into the action and leveling up our players. I cannot wait to see what this looks like. And I feel like this is NBA 2K listening to the community. I would be even more excited if there were ranked and unranked options, as they've done with 3-on-3 Pro-Am in the past. Maybe something like that, but let's look forward to more information on matchmaking in the city for next gen. For current gen, all aboard the 2K cruise, a neighborhood built on the spacious decks of a sailing cruise, which sounds really cool. And I'm glad they're doing something creative. They're doing something new. They're not just giving you the same park with a new skin. So that is fun, something to look forward to. Explore and hoop in nautical luxury, and when the cruise docks in exotic locales throughout the season, make your way to the excursion counter to participate in shoreside events, all taking place completely off the ship. So that's really cool because they're giving you different scenery and they can have some really exciting things, fun ways to just brighten up your experience while you're playing throughout the year. So this sounds great to me as well. MyCareer, in NBA 2K22 for PS5 and Xbox Series XS, MyCareer and the all-new city become one in a groundbreaking narrative experience for NBA 2K. Embark on your personal journey to the pros, a sprawling MyCareer life by exploring the city, seeing new and familiar faces, and hooping your way to exciting new heights. Players on current gen will play out the NBA 2K22 narrative in a dedicated, traditional MyCareer experience. So what that says to me is that on current gen, they're going to have a story. You're going to go through it as we've done before. In next gen, what this sounds like more to me is more like an open world like GTA, where you're meeting people in the city. Maybe the cutscenes are occurring in the city. You're having an interaction with them. They tell you to go to a store, go to a gym, go to a training facility, where basically you are meeting people in the city to progress your narrative. And I think that is a really smart way to go about it. I'm happy to not sit through a several hour long narrative driven basketball game personally. So I think this could be a really awesome feature for next gen. All right, hidden talents. This is for next gen. In 2K22, dreams and ambitions in MyCareer stretch beyond the hardwood floors. Players can now pursue side ventures to build a profile in lucrative and trendy spaces. Brush up against the fashion world, where the art of promotion will drive your success as a mogul, or get involved in the hip-hop business, where your music talent opens up an intriguing lane in the industry. So I think this is just an effort to provide a little bit more context around the narrative experience that they're doing on next gen, and also a way for you to connect more personally with the player and their story. So we'll see about this. It seems like they're doing a little bit much, in my opinion, but hopefully it comes to life nicely once the game comes out. No place like home. So this is next gen as well. Moving up in the professional world means expanding your home lifestyle. Central to your MyCareer narrative and progress, your personal hub represents your place in the journey to the NBA. As your profile and ambitions level up, so too will your home base in the city. So as we're progressing, it looks like the place that we stay, where we live, our my court, our apartment, whatever, will look nicer. My guess is they're going to sell us things for VC to put in our home. You can count on that. But I think it's a cool way to personalize the experience. So I think this sounds like a lot of fun. All right, more to the journey, more news coming out closer to launch. And then lastly, MyNBA/MyWNBA. This says for next gen. In NBA 2K22, team management is about more than just the players on the court. It's about the personnel that scout them, train them, and coach them. MyNBA, MyWNBA players can build the winningest franchise by making sure the staffing is just as strong as the hooping. More details will be shared closer to launch. Okay, so I'm not much of a MyNBA, MyWNBA guy, but if you want an experience that's more than just the action on the floor, you have that option in 2K22. So that is the news of the day. It was kind of a long one. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I'm going to be making a big push to be creating more NBA 2K content leading up into 22 and beyond. So I'd love to have you join me. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon.